Well, good morning, ladies and gents. Welcome to Saturday morning, and it's the 29th of January, and it's blowing a bloody gale outside. Hang on, I can just see treetops over there. Yeah, it's blowing a little bit. So I'm nicely tucked up in here as my light falls off. So today's task is to get my light set up a bit better. I'll do it in a minute. Back on this old girl. So we are today changing out a couple of seals, and if I can find one, rubber seals. So this is a job that I wasn't looking forward to. I am a mechanic. I can tinker around a lot with stuff. I can have a play with stuff, but when it gets to like talking up stuff, it's kind of a bit more. I chop trees down and cut grass. That's about me. So, Haynes manual, broken engine, and some tools. So, what I've got to do is take the rocker cover off, breathe the pipe off, undo all the bolts around it, get that off, and then there's a shaft that runs there, which pressurises the injectors. I'll show you that in a minute. So yeah, fingers crossed this all goes well. Yeah. Right. Oh, and anybody else got a really dodgy radio in the workshop? This thing's ancient. It's been on the estate for like 30 years, and I've got a chainsaw file for an aerial because it got snapped off. And this one, this Makita, which I love, the electrical cord seems to have had a fault in it. And if you're wondering why there's a bed in there, it should be up in the coffin that should be in the back of my truck, which means I should be somewhere else. So, right, we'll get cracked on. Right, so a quick update. I have been procrastinating a little bit. So the shaft's out now. I'm just putting some new gloves on. Camshaft's out now. Top dead centre for the camshaft and bolted. There's two different coloured chains, I don't know if you can see it, or links, and the marker there, just to put that through. It says in the Haynes book to do it. A couple of people said don't bother, but makes no odds. That's a 6.5mm drill bit, steel drill bit. It's supposed to be a 1764 drill bit. Well, who the heck has them? So, well, actually, I nearly do. I nearly have one. So anyway, that's close enough. I think it's a 6.7 really. But so under those bolts, well, I've just seen in the handbook it does actually say to replace them there bolts, and I think the adjusters as well. But that ain't gonna happen for the moment. So next thing is to get the injector lines back out and then have a go with this. And this is an injector puller. Yes, I did buy one rather than using the heel bar because we don't know how long these have been in for, and we're expecting for quite a while. So I'm expecting a bit of a challenge. So we'll have a go at that. It wasn't too bad actually. I found it about 70 quid. So yeah, not too bad. So right, them in, and then we'll try have a go at these injectors. Right, next update. So I've pulled the wiring harness out the side. I couldn't get the plug out. It doesn't really need to be out of the way. Sorry, it doesn't need to be out, as long as it's out of the way, that's fine. I think that needs to come out. I don't actually think I need that in there because I'm not taking that chain off. I'm not fiddling around with anything at the front because I'm looking at the rocker shaft removal. But I'm not taking any of that out. So, first injector is out. You can see it down there. And she is out here. This puller works really well. And I did put a lot of work, a lot of effort in to pull it out. If I'd done it with heel bars like everybody else seems to want to do, then it might damage it. And when they're like 100 and some quid for a recon one, I think I'll pass. So, she is out. And the tip's quite dirty, so I'll get that cleaned up. And the seal's there, and the copper washer's there, so yeah, we'll undo all that and on to the next one. because what I need to do is I think I need to move the engine around a bit to get down the sides, because that puller just slots over, so we'll see. These lobes are kind of getting in the way of it, but those lobes don't look too bad. There's no big scratches or anything in it so far, so yeah, we're alright. I'm just struggling trying to keep it clean, because I've obviously got big holes in the door and it's blowing a gale out there, and it's just blowing shit all over the place and just dust and stuff. So yeah, we'll have a go at pulling some more out and we'll see what happens. So they're out. They're all out. So we've left them over here, put them in order so we don't lose track. Basically there's like part of the computer system is in there which tells the ECU which one's firing and can adjust the amount of diesel that goes in, from what I've been told. So they need to be in the right sequence so that the ECU doesn't get complaints that it's doing something stupid. So yeah, that came out quite well. The puller works really well. I'll just put it way back in its box. It did take some knocking, to be honest. I wouldn't have liked doing that with a heel bar, which most people seem to use. For peace of mind and rest of it, it was definitely worth putting 70 quid into that. It's just a bit awkward putting it together every time, messing around, but you're going to do it 5 times. So I did pull that out as well and just turned it a little bit one way, a little bit the other. I don't think I need it, just to get the lobes out of the way, because the lobes are fouling on the puller. If you look just there, you just couldn't get room to get the puller in. So yeah, injectors don't look too bad. There's just quite a bit of gunk on the end of them, you can see very well. So we'll get them cleaned off, washer off and O-ring out. Those O-rings do feel quite hard, but I presume they're supposed to be black like the Landro ones. So anyway, so we'll get them changed out and we shall start sticking them in. Right, so we're back together now. Injectors back in, shaft back in, injector holders back in, new rubber seal around the rocker cover. It was quite hard, so it's all this to do anyway. The only thing I haven't done is put that camshaft seal on that end, because I don't know how the heck that comes out or in. So yeah, that's it. Just need to put the breather pipe back in, and hopefully we'll try test firing it and see what happens. Right, so everything's working now. All back together, all set hopefully as it should be, and she now runs really well. So took her for a test drive. It's like 3 miles down the road, no problems at all. And that's it. Like a sewing machine. And after last time, no real smoke coming out the back either. So nice and clean. It doesn't smell bad either. Before it smelled a bit like paraffin. But yeah, all good hopefully. Just got an MOT to go past now. So the big old girl lives again. It settled down nicely. So put the nano-com back in again, plugged it in, and again everything's running quite sweetly. RPM difference between cylinders 1 and 5 were like -1, -2 on the old +1, which means basically it wasn't putting it was taking fuel out of the system rather than putting it into the cylinder. So yeah, grand job. We'll see what happens with the MOT now. So thanks very much. Bye.